Oregon's got, what, 9 years of eligibility? One of the kids is 9 years of eligibility, so I guess 7 defensive coordinators. That has to amount to something, right?
What is your good Kenny Dillingham story? Like something that just is funny he did or something?
Oh, tripping on the flip-flop. That was a nice one. He tripped on his flip-flop walking down the stairs. That was a good one. Honestly, because he's just like, that's his personality. He's quirky, and he's okay with that, right? And, like, he gets super juiced up and amped up. And I remember, I guess the one time was, because he always gets on us about wearing Adidas Adidas and ASU gear, right? And he came down the stairs one time, and I was looking at him, I was like, Coach, those shorts right there, I don't see 3 stripes on them. And this is probably 2 minutes before the meeting starts, and he sprints up the stairs, puts new shorts on, comes back down. Made sure not to be late either. So as long as the headman's on the same wavelength, we're good, So.
Is there a relatability that comes with him for all you guys?
A what?
A relatability.
Oh yeah. Well, he's younger, right? And I think that's great. Don't take this the wrong way, Herm. If you see this, we had 2 ends of the spectrum, right? And I do think there is a relatability. I do think he's able to relate to the culture of what younger kids are looking for when it comes to college football. And now that you have NIL, you really have to be relatable, right? Because aside from the money, who wants to spend time with you every day, right? And I think that's what kids fail to realize is that money might be good, but you're gonna have to spend 9-10 hours a day here for the next 6 months. And like the money can't be that good. If you hate the place, it's not gonna be that fun. And so, yeah.
He's 33, just turned 33. How old are you now?
Yeah, I'm turning 24. Yeah.
Not much of a...
Yeah, well, he sent a Pop Warner photo in there, and we have a leadership group chat, and he sent a Pop Warner photo in there, and I was just pulling his leg. I was saying that we were probably in Pop Warner together. Yeah.
You're 100% healthy? Will you be ready for the...
Oh, yeah, I'm good to go. Yeah, next Monday, I'm full go. Yeah.
So what are your hobbies now? I want to know, because we
Oh,
talked about the
gosh.
candle making.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to know, and sewing. So what is your latest hobby? that you
Okay,
picked up?
so because I just finished my grad program, I have some classes to choose from. I think the goal is to do woodworking. That's the goal. I don't know. Maybe some trades, try to figure something out, do some fun stuff in the time. But yeah, woodworking or something around 3D modeling on the computer. I enjoy it. So.
Are you still doing the sewing and the candles though?
Not the sewing anymore, but candles, yeah. I go through enough of them. Trust me, I pay Bed Bath & Beyond and Bath & Body Works enough money. I don't need to pay them anymore. So.
When you say you're 100% full go, what runs through your mind knowing that those words are coming out of your mouth?
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, like, it's funny because now that I look at it, right, 11 months has gone by like this, right? But 11 months ago, I was standing in that room over there about to cry my eyes out saying I'm not playing ever again, right? Or that I'm not playing for the rest of the season. So this is the day I was looking forward to, right? Is like that I can confidently tell you guys, yeah, I'm going to be out there. And like, it's no hold bar. I'm going to do what I want to do. So it's exciting. It's like a relief, right? And there's not a worry. So yeah, I feel excited and confident.
Kenny said he talked to some guys about going to Thomasona. Were you one of those guys?
Yeah,
Did you have a recommendation about what you thought?
Yeah, here's the thing, right? Because I think the more tradition you can hold on to, the better, right? And yes, it sucks. I say that because the beds are uncomfy, not because the place sucks. It's beautiful. It's nice to get away, right? And it's nice to turn the phone off and hang around. And like, here's the thing: when you're suffering with a bunch of people at the same time, you bond, right? When because one of those cabins is like the beds are stacked 3 high, and there's about 50 people that can fit in there, right? Eventually, you're gonna make some friends, or you're gonna make some enemies. It doesn't matter, right? But at the end of the day, you realize you're all fighting for the same goal, right? And so I think it was great because in the suffering of it all, you come out better, right? You come out on top. And I think I grew closer to people my freshman year or my sophomore year when we stayed there for 6 days, right? You grow close to people because you're forced to, right? And you learn a lot more about people, and then you want to play for those guys, and you want to play with those guys. And I think it's great, and it's nice to hold on to that tradition.
Is there a prank that you remember, or the one that you pulled on somebody?
Oh, gosh. Well, not a prank. I can't remember if there was a food fight. I can't remember.
Beetles, bugs, anything?
No, there's definitely bugs. Oh, yeah,
yeah,
you're going
yeah.
to see bugs.
Oh, yeah.
That's one. Gosh, I can't remember. But I do remember jumping off a Tillman rock. We did that. probably weren't supposed to do that. So we'll keep that one on the
QT,
down low.
it's on
Yeah.
down low, yeah.
But
Is that your favorite memory?
for sure. Yeah, because like what had happened was we had heard about it, right? And I had never seen it. And so it was me and Case Hatch, and we were like, hey, like, we heard there's this rock out there, we're going to go jump off it. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Camp was already over, we were leaving the next day. And so me and Case kind of just start walking into the woods, right? And it's about to be dark, probably 30, 40 minutes. And then all of a sudden we look behind us and there's like 20 kids behind us, right? And so like now everybody's coming, half the team's coming. And then as soon as I looked, pretty much the whole team was there. And we were just jumping off, having a good time. So it was fun, right? Exciting, kind of a break. And yeah, we might have got in trouble, but you know, it's worth it.
How
I'll
big
take
was
it.
the rock? How big was the rock? Was it like?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, maybe 10 feet. I mean, the little cliff that you jump off of, yeah, but the hole is probably, the deep part of it that you jump into is not very big. So I would not recommend, please don't jump off of Tillman Rock. Now that I've said that, please don't do that. So
Did you hike to the top of the mountain?
we did, yes, and that's always brutal.
The Frank Kush hike.
Yeah, and which I heard that he made them run up there in full pads, so I don't know how they did that. That sounds miserable. That sounds absolutely miserable.
This team struggled stopping the run last year. How much do you think you being back with this team can help that?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I love to, flaunt the chest and say yes, but like it's gonna be me, but it's not, right? I think there's a lot more parts. And I think there's a lot more elements that help to have. By the way, someone's screaming in there for photos. That's why. But I think there's a lot more elements that have to come together to have a dominant run defense like we did in 2021, right? And I think that was from, like I said, that was everybody from top down. Do I think I can play a big role? Yes, and I'm confident in that. But I know it's not going to be just me. So.
And Ward's defense, creating chaos, as Kenny calls it.
Yes.
For the quarterback.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, we didn't have the best team last year, but if you go watch the Washington State game, I mean, they raised hell.
Yes.
I mean, within the first 8 plays, Trenton got blown up, and he's on his back, and the ball's rolling 10 yards the other way, right? And so you do that to a quarterback, or you do that to anybody on the team, right? I could feel the life of in my body just drain, right? Because I think this is the most positive and best thing I can say about Coach Ward's defense is when you watch it, everybody runs to the ball, and regardless of scheme, regardless of concepts, or regardless of how tough you think a team is, when you watch all 11 players sprint to the ball, it affects, you're like, crap, like these guys are going to go, right? And they're not going to stop, right? So I think that's the best thing you can say about a defense, and that's all Coach Ward preaches. At the end of the day, all he can do is call plays, right? And we have to do it. But when you have guys running to the ball and that are just aggressive and that want to go, you have a great defense.
What is it about the daily habits that leads to that sort of aggression?
Yeah, a lot of running is what it is. You have to train your body and your mind to just make muscle memory, right? And if you could, because the first week is hard, right? The first 10, 15 days of doing it is hard. But then you get to day 30 and 32, you're doing it without even thinking, right? And so it's just muscle memory. And I think a lot of it is accountability with the team too, because I'll go turn the film on, and if I'm not running to the ball, embarrass me. Do it. Call me out, right? Because I think the only way I can grow from that is to fail, right? And if we're in a team defensive meeting, I don't want to be called out for not running, because that's the bare minimum, right? It's not making plays, it's not making sacks, it's running to the ball. And if you can't do the bare minimum, how are we going to trust you on 3rd and 10, right, in a big game, right? Or if it's, let's say you're in a Rose Bowl and you got to make a second down, third down stop, right? How am I going to trust you when I know you can't run to the ball? So it's just building the muscle memory to do it when you're not thinking.
Do you think that the fact that this is a very aggressive defense allows players to buy into that more easily?
Yes and no. I think it's more of the buying in comes from the culture. I think it comes from the atmosphere of you have the 11 guys that are on the field, but you also have the 30 other guys that aren't on the field, right? Yeah. And I think buying in comes from enjoying who you're playing with and who you're playing for. I think it's less about the scheme, because the scheme doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's who you're playing with, who's next to you. Are you willing to lay down for the guy next to you, right? Or the guy on the sideline, stuff like that. So I think that's where the buy-in comes from.
Mike, who would you say is the biggest freak athletically on this team?
The biggest freak athletically? I mean, Scat, like, the kid's nuts. I mean, he just power cleaned like 350 today. And I think he PR'd at like 370. I don't know. It's kind of insane. I hope he doesn't get targeting penalties this year because the kid runs hard, right? By the way, running backs can't get targeting penalties by ducking their head. So their kid runs over people and then like just does a backflip in practice, which, yeah, I can do one too, Scat. But, yeah, he's probably he's pretty freaky athletic. It actually shocked me. It actually did.
You're still doing the backflips?
No, I haven't done one since. But, there's going to be a time when I throw it out there, but we'll see.
How close to yourself are you feeling now?
Oh, I feel 100%. Yeah, I just think that's something risky I don't want to do. But, no, I feel close. I think I'm 100%. And
You've been through a variety of schemes.
yeah.
I mean, the one you recruited to, the odd front.
Yeah.
So, like, how does this one suit you as a player?
Yeah, well, from what I was saying too, is like this scheme and the play calling, it reminds me a lot of 2021. And I think that year AP was fantastic in his play calling. The scheme was fantastic. The aggressiveness was great, and the guys wanted to play. And those are the same vibes I'm getting. And the scheme, it's a basic 4-down front, but it's aggressive blitzing, right? And, no matter who's calling the plays, the scheme is kind of there. But I think this fits me very well. And like I said, it reminds me a lot of 2021. And we had a great season that year.
Yeah. I mean, some coaches are more content playing lighter edge guys, and others, aren't. And so some of the personnel is a little bit different here or what Washington State was last year.
Yeah.
Versus what you guys have been in the past. So I was curious if your, type.
Yeah.
How you feel like.
Yeah, I feel confident. I mean, and even the guys that he had at Washington State, very similar size and structure. Some of the guys are lighter, some guys aren't. But I do think that I fit well. And if I need to lose some weight, I need to lose some weight. And if I need to gain some, I'll gain some. Yeah. But I do feel confident, and the defense feels freeing. So.
If Todd Graham's scheme was like a 10 on aggressiveness or close to it, like on a scale of 1 to 10, where's this or where's 21?
I would say it's probably around 7 or 8. Like, it's up there. It definitely is. Now, Grant was aggressive, and so is Chip Kelly. So I would definitely say they're not 10s, because that's what I would probably put up there as a 10. But it's up there. It's definitely above average. I'll say that.
Are there newcomers who have stood out to you in terms of, whatever?
Edgewise or just team in general? Yeah. I mean, well, I was talking about Scat. Offensively, Scat, absolutely phenomenal. And most of the guys defensively that I see, right? X, Shamari, Clayton, Prince. Oh, by the way, Melquan, the kid's fast as hell. Like speed. Yeah. And then, I think Deshaun's going to be a fantastic addition. Come from Michigan State. Played us when we were here, or when they came here and when we went over there. I think he's going to be absolutely phenomenal. And I think young guys like Ashley and CJ, while they might have some, they're going to have their welcome to college football moment, I think they're going to be fantastic additions. And I think it's awesome to see guys like that come off the bench and play. And I think they will.